Hello, we meet again. Today we have another really special game from Judith Polgar's young chess career. In this game, she had around 11 years, she wasn't a grandmaster even yet, and she was facing a grandmaster as she had an amazing game in Sicilian defense. Not one of the, but the best female chess player of all time, world chess champion, and the only female player back in those days to reach top 100 players of the chess game. I believe even today, maybe, I'm not sure, but in 2006 she definitely was at her peak. She is a super grandmaster at the super grandmaster level, competing in male competition. Truly outstanding talent, but her father said that it wasn't a talent, it was his work and his wife's work together, dedicated work. If you don't know, both of their parents were actually Judith Polgar and her sisters were experiment of her father that he basically taught them on, or in other words, groomed them, to use in lack of a better expression, to become the best chess players that they could be. They were homeschooled and they were basically groomed into becoming a professional chess player, and as you can see, this actually worked perfectly for Judith Polgar and her sisters as well. They're also strong grandmasters. But Judith was something special, that's definite, and her father mentioned that the geniuses are not born, they are made. So this is a wonderful game from Judith Polgar's career, and she opened the game with e4. Her opponent Lev Gutman replied with c5. Game was from 1987, by the way. We have knight to f3, open Sicilian, d4. We have c takes on d4, knight takes on d4, and knight to f6 was played for black. Knight develops on c3, and we have e6 on the board played for black. We are in Sicilian defense, so-called French variation. After bishop to e2 and bishop to e7, we are in Scheveningen. Castle for white, castle for black, and we have f4 on the board. White now wants to open up the position, goes for f4 and maybe create some attack on the king side. We have a6 for black, bishop goes on e3 for white, and we have queen cc, a common move in the Sicilian defense. Game continued with a4, stopping b4 for black, knight to c6, pressuring this knight here. We have queen to e1. Judith now prepares to go to g3, as it's common in Grand Prix attack and in other variations of the Sicilian defense when f4 is played. Knight goes on d7, and we have queen to g3, bishop f6. This move was basically to switch the position and to basically switch these two pieces and put this bishop on f6. Rook a to d1 was played, and black continued with rook to b8 with the idea to maybe later push for b5. Now after rook to a to d1, actually best was to pick up this knight here, and after bishop takes, rook takes, to go for e5 with a completely equal game. But rook to b8 is not a mistake, the position is still slightly better for white, and game continued with knight to c6. Judith sees this, goes for b takes on c6, and right now we have e5, sharp game, trying to break in the center. Black accepts the sacrifice for now, and we have knight to e4 with the idea to pressure this bishop here, and then later, because this queen is pinning g-file, later maybe some sacrifices will open. Bishop goes on e7 for black, f5 for white. White sacrifices temporarily another pawn. We have e takes on f5, and after bishop h6, black plays g6, sacrificing the exchange, but he already has two pawns, so he invites black to simply take. If white takes this, then this would be a perfectly happy, black would be perfectly happy, and black would actually be much more better here, since he has a piece and two pawns for one rook, and this would be much better position. Of course, you didn't want to do that. Firstly, she takes this, rook takes on f5 because this pawn is pinned. We have rook b4 pressuring and attacking this knight, pardon me. Bishop goes on d3 to defend, and we have f6 on the board for black. Right now, rook d to f1 was played, slight inaccuracy. Bishop f8 was better by computer, which now allows rook picks up on e4, and after bishop takes on f8 is a must, king takes on f8, and bishop takes on e4. Yes, the position is slightly better for white after, of course, g takes on f5, bishop takes on f5. Although white seemingly has an exchange up, still black has one pawn of advantage and two pieces for a rook, and the position is actually slightly better for black with the perfect play, of course. We have knight to b6 played for black. Bishop picks up on h7. We have bishop to e6. Nothing too scary right now. You have to protect this checkmate threat, of course. Bishop retreats to e4, and we have knight to d5 played for black. Queen goes on h4 with the idea to maybe invade with queen to h6, with queen to h8. Knight goes on f4 is slight miss. After after queen to h4, the best was to actually go with your king, with your queen on d6 by the computer evaluation. Or no, actually king to e8 was best here by computer evaluation, because right now there is nothing you can do. Checks are not doing much. If you give this check, king will simply go to d7, and you have a perfectly pleasant game here. 2 pieces for a rook, and black should have the advantage. But knight to f4 was played, which seems like a decent move. You simply block the pressure, a completely human move there. You can say nothing about this move. Queen to h8 check, bishop blocks, and we have a rook to d1 taking the open file. We have knight to e6, another mistake here. Black misses, although a completely natural move. We cannot blame black for playing this. Queen to b6 was best, and after king to h1, queen to f2 was what kept the advantage of this position. Now, white, now you have to be careful about this pawn here, and it puts some pressure in the white's position, so black is better here. After rook to d1, knight to e6 was played, as I mentioned, not the best move, and now king to h1, Judith sees that queen to b6 could be dangerous. She retreats, and after that bishop d8, we continue with bishop to f5, trying to take this because this bishop is pinned. A knight goes on d4, attacking this bishop. Bishop goes on h3, and right now black had another chance here, but it's really difficult to find this move. He played queen to f7. Seems like a decent move. You want to bring your queen closer to defend, and you want to unpin with your king to e7, but after this move, actually black is lost all chances to equalize the game. The best was c5, a really difficult move to find. You basically sacrifice the exchange, and after c3 to play queen to h7, completely ignoring this knight attack, and after queen takes, bishop takes, c takes on d4, c takes on d4. Yes, you have an exchange. You are an exchange down. Judith has 2 pawns of advantage, but position is completely equal, and because you have bishop pair and you have 2 passed pawns, you can still play for a draw here, and basically the position is dead equal. But of course it was difficult to find, and instead of that, queen to f7 was played, and now this allows c3, which opens up the position. Queen to b3, of course, is one of the moves here. After c3, queen to b3 was one of the moves. c5 was one of the moves, but definitely you cannot move this knight anywhere back. Let's say you go here, then simply bishop e6, and after, let's say, queen to e6, then rook to d8, and you are done. So c3, queen to b3, attacking this rook. Now, firstly, queen to h6 for Judith. King goes on e7. Rook f1 was played, trying to take this pawn with a check. Knight to e6 was played, although nothing is really difficult. Everything is difficult to find here. And after queen takes on f6, king goes on d6, bishop picks up on e6, what ended this game on the move 37, where black resigned. Let's see what black has in mind here. For example, if you go with your queen, then we simply can go rook to d1 as the best move, or queen to d8, perfectly fine. After this move, you simply go somewhere king to c5, and we can take with queen to d8, and we have an exchange up. The king is naked, and this is a won position for white. After bishop to e6, if you go bishop takes on e6, then queen to d8 is what follows, check, and again queen to c5, queen goes on f8, and again white wins easily. After bishop to e6, there is nothing much you can do. You can maybe go to after bishop to e6, what else? Of course, if you pick up this queen here, then bishop picks up on b3, and after bishop picks up on b3, you still lose the exchange. After bishop takes on f6, check, and this is rook against the bishop in an open position, and 2 connected passed pawns. Yes, black has a passed pawn, but the king is near. This pawn is on the black square, and it's basically a lost endgame here for black. And this is how this wonderful game ended, guys, and this is all I have prepared for you today. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to leave a comment, like, and share this video with other people who enjoy chess, because this really helps with the YouTube algorithm. And of course, if you wish to improve at chess and you're serious about that, you can check the link in the description of this video. I'm a part of this community. See the link, Get Better at Chess. Check it out, everything you might need as a chess player, from chess opening, endgames, middle games, tactics, how to calculate, how to develop a plan, and everything one chess player needs to improve. Thank you so much, guys, and we will see each other on the next video. Bye bye.